The first day at a new school is never easy. For 16-year-old Aisha Khan, it felt like stepping into a jungle where every pair of eyes judged her in silence. She clutched her brand new navy blazer, a gift from her mother who had worked overtime to buy it, and walked down the crowded hallway. Her footsteps were quick, her head down, trying to avoid drawing attention. But the hallways have a way of finding you, even when you're trying to disappear. A group of 3 girls stood by the lockers ahead, their laughter cutting through the chatter like glass. At the center was Madison Hayes, the queen bee of the school, flawless hair, perfect makeup, and a smile that never reached her eyes. She spotted Aisha instantly. Well, look who thinks she can walk through our hallway, Madison said, stepping in front of her. The 2 other girls, Tessa and Brooke, flanked her like bodyguards. Aisha tried to move past, but Madison's hand shot out, grabbing the edge of her blazer. Cute jacket. Is it from the thrift store? She sneered. Before Aisha could respond, Madison yanked hard. The fabric ripped at the seam with a loud tear. The laughter from her friends was sharp, cruel. Aisha froze, heart pounding. The hallway seemed to close in around her. Students stopped to watch, some with pity, others with curiosity. That blazer wasn't just clothing. It was a piece of home, a symbol of her mother's sacrifice. She took a deep breath, feeling something cold and steady rise within her. In her old school, she had stayed silent when bullied, but this time she wasn't going to walk away in pieces. Without warning, Aisha dropped her backpack to the floor. In one swift motion, she stepped forward, grabbing Madison's wrist with precision. Her other hand pressed lightly on Madison's shoulder, and with a controlled pivot, she spun Madison sideways, forcing her to stumble back into the lockers with a metallic clang. The sound echoed through the hallway, and the crowd gasped. Madison's friends froze wide-eyed. Aisha's movements had been so fast, so precise, that it didn't look clumsy, it looked trained. "Touch my things again, and you'll regret it," Aisha said calmly, her voice low but carrying enough weight to cut through the silence. She didn't shout. She didn't need to. Madison's confidence cracked. She straightened her clothes, muttering, "Whatever, you're crazy," before brushing past with her friends, their laughter gone. The hallway buzzed with whispers.
"Did you see that?"
She flipped Madison like it was nothing. Some students looked at Aisha with newfound respect. But it wasn't over. The bullies avoided her for a few days, but Aisha noticed the stares and the murmurs. She knew Madison wasn't the type to let things go. And sure enough, a week later, she found a note stuffed in her locker. "This isn't over." Aisha thought about telling a teacher, but she remembered her father's advice. Strength isn't just about winning fights. It's about making them afraid to start one. She decided to stay a step ahead. She began making allies, talking to classmates, helping them with assignments, joining the debate team. Slowly, people started standing beside her in the halls. The bullies, seeing her surrounded, began losing their power. The final blow came when Madison tried to spread a rumor about Aisha cheating on a test. But before it could stick, several classmates came forward, defending her. Madison's grip on the school's social scene crumbled, and she avoided Aisha entirely after that. Weeks later, Aisha's mother noticed the repaired seam on the blazer. "It's been through something, hasn't it?" she asked with a knowing smile. Aisha smiled back. "Yeah, but it's stronger now. So am I." From that day forward, Aisha walked the halls with her head high. The blazer wasn't just a gift anymore. It was armor, stitched with courage. Because sometimes, the quickest move isn't just about defense. It's about changing the balance of power forever. The hallway smelled faintly of floor polish and teenage chatter. Aisha Khan's steps were soft but deliberate, her grip tight on the strap of her backpack. The navy blazer she wore was crisp, freshly ironed, a gift from her father who had reminded her that first impressions matter. She hoped this first impression would be a good one. What she didn't know was that someone else had already decided she was a target. Near the end of the hallway, Madison Hayes leaned against the lockers, her glossy hair framing a face that was always half smirk. She didn't need to speak to control the space. The way people moved aside for her said enough. Her friends, Tessa and Brooke, were like shadows, laughing when Madison laughed, glaring when she glared. As soon as Madison saw Aisha, her lips curled in a cruel smile. "Look at that," Madison murmured to her friends, nodding toward Aisha. "A brand new blazer. Let's see how long it stays new." When Aisha walked past, Madison stepped forward, blocking her path. "Nice blazer," she said in a voice dripping with fake sweetness. "Is it designer or from the bargain bin?" Without waiting for an answer, she tugged at the sleeve, pretending to examine it. The next moment, with a deliberate motion, she yanked hard. The sound of fabric tearing cut through the hallway noise like a blade. The laughter from her friends was sharp, but the rest of the hallway fell into silence. Aisha stared at the ripped seam. For a split second, her breath caught in her chest, and her throat tightened. She could feel dozens of eyes on her, some sympathetic, some eager for drama. Her father's words about first impressions echoed in her head. And then, something in her changed. Aisha let her backpack slide to the floor. The clatter of it hitting the tiles startled Madison, whose smirk faltered. Without raising her voice, Aisha stepped forward, grabbed Madison's wrist, and with a quick pivot, a move she'd learned from years of self-defense classes, spun her sideways into the lockers. The metallic bang was loud, making several students jump. Madison stumbled wide-eyed, her confidence suddenly shaky.